There is a press briefing at this time by the Minister of Transport, Fikile Mbalula. Let's take you live there for now.
And government and entities, then they become on the defensive side instead of being responsive to the crisis as it emerges. We have updated society at large and apologized for the inconvenience, albeit through a press statement. We are doing this today because we are now embarking on the new year where many people will be coming home and others departing from our shores to their different destinations. And we wish to address the matter and ensure that everybody is brought up to speed to understand what happened at the airport in terms of the fuel situation. So our apologies for starting a bit late because it's a very involved subject which needed a thorough briefing and so on. So there are experts and management who will be able to field questions of technical nature in terms of the fuel situation for the airlines. Our airports are a strategic asset for the Republic of South Africa and constitute major economic corridors connecting the country to the rest of the world. It is for this reason that in the last week, when flights were delayed due to what we now know as a technical fault at the fuel storage facility, I was inundated with queries from concerned citizens. I frequently conduct oversight visits at our strategic transport facilities to ensure that the quality of our service meets the best international standards. Travelers across South Africa and the world trust that when they arrive at OR Tambo International, they will get swift and seamless service. It is our duty to ensure that the expectation is met. It is for this reason that AXA, in the undertaking of its airport management and operations mandate, benchmarks itself against the best international models, continuously engaging with stakeholders and investing in security advancements. Following the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, AXA put stringent health measures in place to protect staff and travelers at all our airports. We gave frequent updates on this and ensured that the health protocols were implemented to the latter with minimum disruption to passenger movements. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic after 2 years of global travel restrictions severely impacted the global aviation industry, and AXA was no exception. In the last year, AXA saw a steady recovery in passenger volumes, with numbers gradually returning to pre-pandemic levels during the peak season. This follows measures put in place by AXA at OR Tambo International Airport to ensure that passenger experience is seamless. In the last week, this airport was confronted with the challenge of a technical fault between the fuel storage facility and the main hydrant system, which impacted the refueling of aircrafts. I wish to repeat, in the last week, this airport was confronted with the challenge of a technical fault between the fuel storage facility and the main hydrant system, which impacted the refueling of aircrafts. The technical issue was as a result of the main supply valve supplying fuel to the aprons not opening, resulting in rotational delays to domestic and international departures. AXA was swift in its response and immediately implemented a contingency measure deploying a tanker to refuel aircrafts. The subsequent delays affected 41 flights, 32 of which were domestic, 8 international and 1 regional flight. The swift manner with which AXA dealt with the challenge minimized the impact and ensured that flight schedules returned to normal within a reasonable time. I thank the affected passengers for their patience and airlines for their understanding and cooperation, enabling us to resolve the challenge speedily. I must reiterate that this situation was not related to the jet fuel supply challenges experienced at OR Tambo International Airport in the last year. We are vulnerable as society to what we may characterize as fake news, that whenever something or a crisis erupts, because of the nature of social media, society will be subjected to all sorts of bombardment and fake news that there was a short of supply of fuel at OR Tambo, and in particular by AXA. So this was literally an accident. We are happy to report that those issues are a thing of the past, as we have managed to stabilize jet fuel stock levels.
All right, we do apologize for that. We seem to have lost the feed. The Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula conducting an oversight visit at OR Tambo International Airport, giving us an update on that particular oversight visit that he has been conducting throughout today, giving us an update on AXA, saying that AXA has seen a steady rise in passenger volumes and that some of the issues that were experienced are indeed set to be resolved.